Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Casey. My name is Casey Samson. We get together and talk about market strategies, market conditions. Right now, we're in the heat of the spring. It is, the middle of April. A lot of things going on that we need to know about the market conditions. Okay, so I'm going to call this the big double cross. So first of all, markets move, they react. Okay, interest rates come down, inventory goes up. People see now's their opportunity to sell and buy something else, so inventory goes up. It's just the way things work. So what happened this in the last month is interest rates were coming down. The move-up buyers came out, and all of a sudden the inventory came out, and people started putting their homes on the market. And I'll switch over here. We can take a look around and see what that looks like. This is a snapshot by the counties. Okay. Now, what you're looking at is the 30-day inventory, which is what I watch like a hawk. Because as a listing agent and a buyer agent, I need to know who's in control of the market, how many homes are coming on, is inventory going up or down? Very important on pricing and how we react. So in Arlington, the inventory is up in Arlington 50%. Fairfax County up 51%. So you can see 57% in Loudoun County and 34% in Prince William County that's lagging behind. But what does this mean? Well, this means there's more inventory for buyers to come out and buy. This is a great opportunity to move up. A lot of people quit looking because they couldn't find a house. It also means for sellers, you got more competition. You got to be a little smarter. We have to price it right. We have to find the buyer pools. And then all of a sudden, and I'll go through this by first we'll look at the counties and then Vienna, and then I'm going to talk about the double cross. Here's Vienna. Okay. So Vienna has single family homes under 3,000 square feet. They're up 45%. But the big boys, the homes over 3,000 square feet, are up 38%. So, year to date, under 3,000 square feet, they're up 4%. They're up 43% on the larger homes. Now, what does that mean? That means a little more competition, a little tougher to sell. Have to be careful with where you go. If you make a mistake, you're going to sit on the market and rot. You're going to go to where we call the mud, right? So our job is to stay in the jet stream where multiple contracts, 100,000 over list price, backup contracts. We had somebody sell a house this weekend that got 100,000 over list price, and the gentleman that bought it was going to buy it for his kids to move into 2 years from now. So the seller, instead of selling their house and going and finding a rental, the seller is actually able to get a huge premium on their house and rent it back for the next 2 years. So, if we're smart, now that is a seller that said, whatever you say, my favorite seller. We found the big buyer pool. We got multiple contracts. We got 100,000 over list. He gets to stay in his own house. There's no home inspection. That's the way you have to do it, right? That's just the way the market's moving. Other seller, probably, I don't know, 40 houses or 50 houses we've listed. One seller decides, no, the father or the matriarch decides what's going to go on, and he listed it too high, and is the only house that is going to withdraw unsold. The only one. And that's because, somebody decided to make the wrong move. You cannot make mistakes in this market. Again, never more true our statement we use, and that is rule number one: you don't break protocol. Overpricing a house is breaking protocol. Everything else is a waste of time. So rule number two: don't break rule number one. Just stay with it. Stay with the protocol. It works. It works. It works. Everybody sells. Everybody has backup contracts. Everybody has, that is, the people that are dealing with us. If you look down here in Vienna, only 32% of the homes are in the jet stream. The rest of them are sitting there unsold past 7 days. Now they have to deal with buyers. Oh, by the way, the person that did put the house on the market and overpriced it, and it sat. Everybody else is getting 100,000 over list price. It sat. They just got an offer that is $300,000 below the list price, 300,000 below. And it's contingent on selling a home that's way overpriced in Potomac, Maryland. So we have to be smart. Don't break protocol in a market like this. The inventory is up. That's good. If you're smart, that's good. If you're not and you break protocol, that's going to be really bad. That, again, the old adage of this is no place for amateurs. You're going to see a lot of people withdrawing their houses unsold, a lot of them. And that is because they either don't know the protocol or they allow sellers to break protocol. So as long as we stay in that realm, we're in great shape. Now, never is there going to be more important to know the ranking or rating of the realtor you're dealing with. Not all realtors are the same. Not all realtors are the same. I'm going to go speak to an office, a Samson Properties office. There's 250 people in the office. 207 have done less than 3 deals. Most of them have done 0 deals, 0 listings. So they're trying to get in and trying to get that listing and trying to do that listing, but they are what we would call a sales agent or an associate, right? They're not like a master listing agent. If you've done more than 10 transactions, listed more than 10 houses a year successfully, then we would consider you to be a master listing agent, right? If you've done 100, you're kind of a 5-star or 5-tier master listing agent, right? But you need to know, is the agent that you're talking to, are they an associate agent? I mean, are they just 3 deals or 2 deals a year? Or do they really know what they're doing? Do they really do 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 or whatever it is per year? Are they a master listing agent? If you're going to list your house, the person sitting or persons sitting in front of you should be at least a tier 2 master listing agent. And the person sitting next to him better be an associate realtor, not a sales agent. Now, as time goes on, I'm going to explain that, because my theory is that if you are an agent and you've done less than 2 or 3 deals, you are absolutely unqualified to take a listing and go soup to nuts with that listing. There's so much to learn, so much to know. So that I've pushed this for a while, and talking to this office, this is what they're going to hear. The agents that have no experience need to team up with a master agent. You guys find the lead, the master agent sets the protocols, closes the transaction, processes the deal, and then depending on the quality of the agent, they can help prepare the home and sell the home. But that master agent needs to be in charge. That means that listing is priced correctly, staged correctly, marketed correctly, has the right protocols when it comes to contracting, and that newer agent can learn through that process. Do 10 of those processes with a master agent, and then you will become a lot more educated. So if you're listing your house, you need to know, am I dealing with somebody that does less than 3 transactions? Now, I got news for you. I was asked to go look at a house that was $6 million, and they were considering 2 agents at the time. Each agent had listed 2 properties. 2 sold, 2 properties in the last year. And I'm not saying I wanted the listing, because I really didn't want the listing, but are you crazy that you're going to trust a $6 million listing to somebody that has only done 2 transactions? I mean, they're not even an associate realtor at that point. So, sellers more than ever need to put the house on the market with a master listing agent, and sitting next to them should be somebody that's going to help and do all the paperwork and do a lot of stuff that the master agent is there for: pricing, staging, handling contracts, any problems that could go wrong. Because really, what could go wrong with a transaction? What could possibly go wrong? Well, we had one that was settling on a Monday, and on Saturday night, a tree fell on the roof. There's a tree sitting on the roof of this house. We've got a couple days to settlement. Maybe I take that back. It happened on Saturday. We were settling on the next Friday. So what do you do? You stay calm, get the tree down, you inspect it, make sure everybody's calm, don't anybody panic, get somebody up, get them repaired, get the buyer inspected, So a master agent isn't just all about pricing houses, it's staying calm when something goes wrong. We have a flood. The flood happens the day, it's a brand new house, brand new house. We get a call. The house flooded. Flooded. A brand new house. $2.5 million house. What are we gonna do? You're gonna stay calm. There's a there's a procedure for how you're gonna handle this. We don't know the damage yet. We need a damage estimate. We need an estimate of how long this is going to take. We're going to push settlement. As soon as it's done, we'll have an inspector come in and inspect every law. First of all, find out what the problem was. It's fixed. And then everything is repaired correctly with inspectors. And then we get it done and reset settlement. And sure enough, we settled 3 weeks later. Same price, no difference. 3 weeks later. What could go wrong? Now that interest rates have gone shooting up and the stock market has gone shooting down, people are saying, I want to get out of this contract. I'm getting out of here. I don't want to buy the house that I've already contracted to buy. Well, you put up a $50,000 deposit and the sellers have made contractual obligations on the other side based on your promises through this contract. So what are we going to do? I'm not going to settlement. Well, what could go wrong? You have to make sure that as an experienced agent, you can explain to them the circumstances of if you don't. We don't want to talk about that because that's deeper than mud. That's hitting bedrock. So we don't want to do that, right? We have to work through all of it. Person's going to settlement, they got doged, they lost their job. Oh my God, we're going to settle. We don't have a financing contingency. We got to settle in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We're going to go crazy. No, you're not. You're going to stay calm. All you need in order to get that loan is a commitment from somebody that can hire you at the same wages. You don't need to go to work for them. You don't need to agree to it, but you need to have somebody offer you a job that is comparable in pay or enough pay to qualify for that mortgage. So we've had that too. All right. So what goes on now? There are things that can go wrong and will and can go wrong. And that is why we have backup contracts. We have no home sale contingencies. We have no home inspection contingencies. We have no financing contingencies. So really, in going through, other than a tree falling on our house, when we're talking about an agent that's going to list a house, they have to be experienced, not only in the pricing and the staging, but the what ifs. What if something goes wrong? What could possibly go wrong? The stock market couldn't fall 5,000 points, could it? Interest rates couldn't shoot up a half a point, could they? That couldn't happen. Yeah, that did. People did try and get out of deals. There was a little chaos there for a while. Everything's calmed down, in my opinion. And again, just my opinion. I'm not an economist, but I did sit down and talk to one of my clients who's a Fed Treasury economist. I think it's just a bluff. I think a lot of this is bluffing, and everybody's reacting to it. It's a business move. That's all it is. And I think one by one, everybody's going to come around. Where that's what I'm assuming is going to happen, and things calm down a little bit. It is a negotiating tactic. That's all we're talking. That's all we're watching right now. Okay. So the market is going to level out. Now let me give you the worst idea I've heard in real estate in a long time, and I'm going to tag this one right on Compass. Okay. This is Compass's new model. And I'm telling you, it is the worst shoot back to 1969 I've ever seen in my life. The Compass company is going to have exclusive listings where they're just going to show it to their agents. And if you come in, a buyer, and you see that house and say, I want to buy that house, well, you got to come through a listing agent. You got to come through the Compass agents. It is a play from Compass. It is the greediest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. It is a play by Compass to get buyers to come through their agents. Now in Vienna, Compass has an 8% market share. 8%. And they're going to try and say, well, we're going to show it to our clients. That's 8% of the client base. Now, let me ask you something. Would you rather show your house to 100 people or eight? I'd rather show it to 100. Not only would I rather show it to 100, but I'm going to market it so good that I'm going to get people that aren't even looking in Vienna to come to Vienna to buy a house, or in Oakton to buy a house, or go to Alexandria to buy a house, or Arlington, or wherever my listing is. If I'm in Centerville, I'm marketing to people in Oakton and Vienna. It's like, I know you don't want to come to Centerville, but have you seen this house? I know you don't want to come to Haymarket, but did you know you could get this house for $850,000? In Vienna, it costs 1.3 million. Did you know that? So our whole goal as master listing agents, right, is to get as much marketing, as many people in as possible. And Compass says, no, we're going to just show it to our 8%. I think that's the worst idea. Now, it's greedy. I think any agent that's worth their salt shouldn't play that game because it's going to go away soon and you're going to be tagged. You're going to be tagged as one of the agents that's what you did. 8% of the market. You were greedy and you were going to show it to 8%. So you could probably get both sides. Or you could steal somebody's buyer clients. It's the worst idea I've heard in real estate. Now, I've talked about this before, right? About how they promoted these exclusive listings. I've talked about it. Now, I'm infuriated with what they've taken it to. Now, let me give you an example. Samson Properties. You list with Samson Properties, right? And we're gonna offer it to 6,800 agents. We're gonna offer it to them, but we only have 14% market share. We're gonna offer it to all of them so they can see it beforehand. But I'm not gonna let any of them buy it. I'm not gonna try and sell it. I'm just putting everybody on notice it's coming. I'm putting 6,800 agents and all their clients on notice. I've got something coming. You better put this on your radar because here it comes. Maybe you're getting ready to sign off on another deal. This is not as good or not. Maybe this is, you settled on a house, you're getting ready to buy it, and all of a sudden, here comes one. This is the perfect house. I'll wait. I'll wait a week. If the other house is still there, it's still there. If it's not, it's not. Wasn't meant to be. But I know my perfect house is coming. So it puts everybody on notice. It puts 1,600 agents and their clients on notice. But I'm not going to let you just buy it. Can you go and look at it? Sure. You can look at it. I don't care. Because I'm not under coming soon rules. But that house is going to hit the market. And I will tell you that my daughters, I have two lovely daughters, and they're both master listing agents, master agents. They do $30 million a piece. And I had one of my daughters was listing a house with me. My other daughter had the buyer. Daughter now, I mean, my daughters. Kelly listed a house. Morgan had a buyer. Perfect house for Morgan's buyer. Oh, can we get in? Look at sure. Hey, can they make an offer? Nope. I'll see you on Monday at noon. My daughters. I told Morgan, I'll see you Monday at noon. I don't know what the market's willing to pay, but we're going to find out because we don't know. I pretty much can find the buyer pool, but where the final price is going to end up, that depends on who's the perfect person looking for that house with all the money in the world that really wants that house. I had a mother who really wanted a house in the neighborhood. Now, let me give you, here's a perfect example of this Compass BS. Had a house, put it on the market, very unique. It's at least $1.2 million. Tested it. Some people are coming. Okay, we can live with that. We're going to test it at $1.2 million. A mother saw it, whose daughter is close, who just had a baby, that lost her husband and must have a house in that neighborhood and it's closed. Spent $1.5 million for a $1.2 million house. All cash, no contingencies. I need that house. That's who we're looking for. That's exactly who we're looking for. We're looking for the highest and best buyer to buy a home when They may not be in that 8%. They might not be in Samson Properties 14%. I mean, we have a 14% market share in our area. And let me just, it's funny. I was I was listening today to a group of agents, and one of them is saying, "Oh my gosh, I got 12 live there." Da, 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 da. I am an authenticator. If you say something, I'm going to want to authenticate it. So as you're talking, I'm on the MLS. Like I said, I read the MLS like people read the Wall Street Journal. I read the MLS. How many transactions do you have? $1 million this year? Really? I look at everybody. I look to see how many deals have you had, how successful they are, how long they stayed on the market. I can tell you who a real realtor is versus I can tell you who a real football coach is just by talking to them and Xing and Oing with them. Give me 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I can tell you whether I got a real coach in my hands or just a dad coaching football. Right? So you need to authenticate who you're talking to, right? So again, when you look at Vienna and they want to market, a Compass wants to come in and market to their group, over $1.5 million in Vienna, that's the market share. That's Casey Samson Team market share. We've done 41.5 million. The other top agents are down in the 4s and 5s and 6s. Again, authenticating. If I say this is a way to do it, the seller needs to trust me that everybody else that's done it has succeeded. So you have to build that air of trust. Over here, the next one is this is the Casey Samson Team versus entire offices from Keller Williams, Compass. So $32.5 million of homes were sold, Compass listings, in, since January 2024, according to MLS, over 1.5 million. They've sold 32.5. I personally, my team sold 41.5. So when I look at that and I say, so what you're saying is, and if you look at all of these, that you just want buyers to look at just for your clients, but that's all you guys have sold this year as a group, as a whole team. So the 41.5 is not Samson Properties. That's just my team. That's just our team. I think it's 65 million if you tie in the other Samson stuff. But again, this is just showing you need to, when somebody says, we're going to show it to our people. Well, who are our people? Actually, it sounds more like this. What do you mean our people? I mean, what are you talking about, our people? Are your agents, just your agents? Not all the Keller Williams or the Remax or the Coldwell Banker, the Samson Properties, just your agents? And what brilliant mind makes you think that makes sense? That's why I come to you on Thursdays and let you know my opinion for whatever it's worth is on the real estate market, inventory up, we got a little double cross. Normally that means interest rates are coming down, inventory goes up. So interest rates came down, inventory went up, and then all of a sudden interest rates shot back up. That caused more of a buyer's market than we're used to. Normally inventory would go up, interest rates would come down. So more buyers would offset that more inventory. We got double crossed. It's like playing for your slice and all of a sudden you hook it. For you golfers, you get double crossed, right? So in the market today, inventory went up, interest rates coming down, and all of a sudden interest rates shot up. Now that provides a very interesting market. Are homes still selling? You bet your ass they are. Are they still selling 100,000 over market value? Yes. Over market value? Absolutely. Are they still selling about 20% higher than they would if they were priced at the rate of inflation? Yes. Yes. If you're smart. I got a lot of smart sellers. A lot of smart sellers. My name is Casey Samson. You can reach me at 703-508-2535 or Casey at CaseySamson.com. or check our website at caseysamson.com. So everybody have a great week. If you need me, give me a call, 703-508-2535. Thanks. Bye now.